Hello friends, I am Kanchan from Akulmach Technologies and we are welcome to Nation. Today we have Sitesh Srivastav who has a deep interest in corporate training. He is closely associated with radio broadcasting and he has interest in generating sales leads. So let me ask him very crucial question. Now things are very as far as business is concerned is not very good, so we'll be asking Sitesh how to generate good leads. So welcome to the show, Sitesh. How are you doing today?
Thank you,
Thank you,
Kanchan.
Kanchan.
It's been long that we have spoken, and it's always wonderful to talk to you. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm fine. And I see that business, when we are talking about business people, the crucial question is how to generate new leads for the business. So earlier we used to go or cold calls, we used to find out time to really meet our clients and present our services or products. But now due to COVID, everybody is at home. Even big companies are asking their employees to work from home. Now in this scenario, the crucial question is how to generate new sales leads. Do you have any ideas?
Well, Kanchan, I always go by the dictum that either a product or a solution is so good that it does not need a sales, or we need to build a story to sell some product which is not yet tested in the market. And that's where it is important to understand the product mix or the solution mix, and in our digital world, the offering, how great and how unique. I was talking to some senior sales guy, and he said the word USP, unique selling point, is something that has been so much overrated in today's world, because no product is niche, no solution is unique unless and until the execution is unique, unless and until the team is unique, unless and until the implementation is fast enough. So earlier the product was unique, but today the execution has to be unique. And that is where I think the lead generation for any business, whether it is manufacturing or IT or government business, defense, public sector, it is important to create a narrative, and it takes time. What we used to call sales cycle, I think we should say story cycle today. We must build stories, we must create the interest in the stories, and then think of creating the leads. So even if it is a cold calling, throughout the day, me and you get so many calls from a credit card guys, lifetime credit card, personal loan, and none of these guys speak about creating a story, even if it is for few seconds or a minute. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a great idea to create a story. But I think one thing which I really feel is about that though we have a good story, though we have a good product or service, but still we are not interacting. There's no human touch. We are not interacting with people as we used to. Now everything is technology driven. Now in this scenario, how good any company is to really create a sales story, and because in the Indian market it's very important to feel and touch aspect when we talk about customers and clients. So I think I what do you think about um, how to get into this sales cycle, as you said, or maybe story creating cycle? But then we, as Indians, we are more inclined to really feel and touch of the product, and that's why I have seen recently many people are giving their services, not the product, but the services for free for some time. So I feel is that is there any other way? Rather, okay, fine, we create a story, but how to execute it? Because the days of cold calling, I think, is gone.
Yes, Kanchan. So, with the changing times, uh, the life in this pandemic, we all have been inside our homes most of the time. Probably we never thought that our home can be extended to so much of activities beyond the home. And therefore, when it comes to the sales, it is something home based. The sales has become home based. We all do the home based selling. We all talk about the stories. But there's something that I want to emphasize. Instead of cold calling, why not do cold emailing? Cold emailing, then by going by the cold phone calls, and then probably generate so many mailers that can go today by just a click of a button. 5,000 mails can be sent out, but each of those mails may not come back again. They might land up in a spam box. And therefore, I think it is important, more important today, to have a qualified emails, qualified phone calls. And since, as you said, Indians are more about meeting, touching, talking face to face, having food together, I think this is also true in many markets. But in today's life, I think you create a story, and that story needs to be believed in such a way that your prospect is bound, or to say, hey, your story is interesting, can we meet for a coffee? Because people are going out for meeting on a coffee. I myself have met so many people in last few weeks, but I must tell you, there I have not been able to meet lot of people, but I have been able to meet choice people that I wanted to meet, because I wanted to make an impression upon them about the sales or the product or the proposition. So in a salesperson's life, there is something interesting like a funnel. So you put so many things in the funnel, and only qualified sales or leads go inside the funnel. So in today's time, people have understood that we may not need to send out mass email, but we may not able to reach out to mass number of people, but it is important to qualify by doing more research and then send out qualified cold emails, and those cold emails would return back, and then they would not remain cold anymore,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yes, I feel that I'll take up a few points from the discussion. First is a good story, and your product or service should be surrounded by good story, and I think believable story. And second, you said that you should do an email, but I have a little contradiction on that. When we talk about email, so there are many email I also receive, and you see those email, all are sales, mostly emails are of sale, so I don't even read them and I delete it. So the thing is, what I feel is that email at the moment is not working. What do you say about this?
So, in a salesperson's life, Kanchan, a salesperson is more like the ringmaster in a circus. If you remember the old circus days, the ringmaster is able to control every character or every actor in a circus event for that evening or for many evenings. So a salesman has to keep on jumping between email, phone calls, social media, not so much social media, WhatsApp, and even Instagram marketing. And on top of all of this, picking up a phone call with someone even for 2 minutes or even for a minute, and thinking about what needs to be told to that particular targeted person. And I have more or less, when I call up some CXO, I generally it goes to some office assistant or a receptionist. Now a receptionist doesn't is a very important part of that whole chain to connect me to some CXO. But the receptionist needs to listen what he or she needs to listen, not what I want to tell. And that is something which needs a little bit of a creativity in your content. And the content creativity is something that we all can figure it out in terms of our target customer, target potential customer, the geography, the chosen words, uh, the long sentences versus small sentences. And it has become more of a personal kind of a conversation in today's life, because everybody is working from home. So I think it is important to understand the context of the sale that is we all are aiming for.
Yeah, you mentioned very good point about social media, and what I think that social media has taken a front row seat when we talk about presenting anything, or when we want to introduce to some product or services. So I think it's a combination of technology and creativity, and then uh, reaching out to people in masses. And I think that is where the challenge is, to reach out here also, when we talk about social media, to reach out the right kind of customer, in other words, directed, targeted customer for our services and our product. So I think it will take some more time to really make a funnel, rather than going randomly. And then in this process, what my opinion is, we waste a lot of time. So when we are talking about making a funnel, so what are those areas we should consider, we should take into consideration while really reaching out to our targeted customers?
So, like Kanchan, like it's very interesting. We all are connected to so many networks, and we all are part of so many of WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, Facebook pages, networks. But if you think deeply, are we the networks, or the networks is about us, or we are about the networks? What we bring into the network is something that is more important always, rather than what the network brings to us. So me and you, we know each other, developed a rapport over a time after talking, and we have spoken about our synergies together. And when we talk about synergies, then there comes a point where we need to talk about business or commercial turning point of it. The challenge today is that because of social media, because of email, because of the phone calls being so cheap, the data is so as cheap as water, it is, we think the business also should move that fast. But that's not the case. Ultimately, it is the human mind that needs to be convinced about a service or a solution. And the moment human mind comes into picture, there are multiple things rather than just the technology part of it. Technology was Technology is an enabler, and technology will remain as an enabler. Despite putting up so much of artificial intelligence or machine learning into our platforms, it is the people, the stories, the spoken word, the smile, the video touch, uh, and then, if needed, taking a leap of faith and going to meet for a coffee. All of that put together makes a good recipe for a sales
For a
lead.
sales lead.
So whether it
Whether
is
it
you
is
5,000
5,000
emails or 500 emails, ultimately it is the person based selling, and that will always remain the hallmark of sales. Great systems like Salesforce or any other CRM systems can never be greater than the salesmen themselves. And that's what I believe.
Yes, definitely. A sales person has to be more equipped with the product and the services, and that is there. So it was so wonderful to talk to you, Sitesh. And from this discussion, I think the takeaway is that you should have a creative story, and you should have a platform, a social media platform, and technology to really reach out to the people. And then gradually you will come, you will be able to make a funnel, because you can even direct your mails or your creatives or your advertisement to certain defined predefined customer also through media, uh, social media. So I think the sales parameter has changed, the sales platform has changed, and we have to be equipped with the new technology and the new method of sales through social media, creating a creative story, and of course, product has to be good enough to lure the customer and the client. So that is one of the basic things. So as usual, it was so wonderful to talk to you today. We'll meet again with some interesting topic next time. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kanchan. Market is and you.
Bye.